Well, hello and welcome to another Tech Tuesday. We're super excited you're here, whether you're joining us live or later on YouTube. Thank you for checking us out. Today, we're really excited. We're going to just jump right into it. We have Alyssa Fabian, aka Fobs, which is like the coolest name ever, in my opinion. We have her with us today, and to show us about. Oh, and by the way, Alyssa is a district growth manager with Book Creator. So just wanted to introduce her to you guys, and I'm just going to go ahead and hand it off to you, Fobs. Take it away.
All right, my man. Thanks, Josh. I'm super excited to be here. Today, we are going to create your Yeehaw Moments in Book Creator, and I like to walk people just how to create a library, how to remix a book, really how to get started if you wanted to get started in Book Creator tomorrow. Also, if you are in here live, feel free to join my library once I get it up and running. All right. So what we're gonna do is once you log into Book Creator, you're going to see something called your teacher dashboard. All right. And if you want to just go in and get started, I'm going to show you how to create your first library, how to remix a book, how to get started, how to assign it, all that stuff. So when you create your library, you're kind of thinking of these libraries as like an online classroom kind of thing. I like to create a different library for each period, each topic, and so on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of scroll down here a little bit longer than you might have to scroll, and I'm going to click Create a Library. And so if you're creating a library for students for the first time, all right, the first thing we need to do is we need to name it. All right, so I'm going to name it, and then what I'll do is I'm going to go through these different settings. The biggest part of Book Creators, you can go in and you can change these settings as you go. Okay, so I can change our settings to search for different images, edit their own books, yes, create multiple books. I usually just kind of throw this as just one. And this is the biggest part. Read each other's books. Do you want kids to see each other's books or not? I usually take it off. Then I usually kind of keep everything else just the way it is. I add translate, and I can add these different features, speech to text, text to speech, and I'm going to hit create a library. Once you've done that, you have created your first library and you are like on your way to success. All right. And so what then I'm going to do is I can come in here at the top, and we have this tab called Discover. And I really like to showcase this Discover to get people started, just get those wheels turning, right? When I dive into things, I'm like, wait, how did other people use them? Just give me some ideas. So I love to come here to Discover and maybe find something that I could use, okay? We have some great getting started books that you can remix. So if I click here on the Book Creator and Me, you can see that it can be remixed, all right? And I'll show you how to do that here in a bit. Also, we have different literacy ones. These actually were created specifically for some of the test preps for Texas. But we can go in here and I love the alphabet. If you're working with littles, the little alphabet A to Z, love it. We have a lot of STEM books, digital citizenship, seasonal ones, just different ones that you might be interested in. Then you can go down and look at examples. So I can come in here and I can say, if I want to go in and look at a middle school example, I can see how they've used it. I can't remix these, but I can definitely see how other teachers have used it. And this is my guy, Al. He does an amazing job with his students. And they made their little Edgy Guardian superhero cards, their Starship cards. So this was super fun. And I always say there's a power in the pages when you're able to go in and publish. So we're actually looking at published books. And as you scroll down here, you can see math, different ways. This is a teacher resource as well. So that is a great spot of like where to start of just getting ideas. All right. Now, let's just say that I found a book and it gives me this option to remix. I'm going to go in and I can click remix and I can add it to my library that I just created. So I just created this one. I'm going to hit copy to library. Then I'm going to click go to library. So I created my library. I looked through Discover, found something I liked, and then I clicked on remix. Okay. So I have this book, and you can click your three dots. If you just kind of scroll over them a little bit, you can click here. You can edit the title. You can also go in and you can edit what's on these different pages. Okay. So just know if you find something.
I don't know if we're seeing what you're talking about.
Now we got it. I was like, somebody yell at me if you don't see what I'm doing. So I'm gonna kind of go in there again. You can remix this, throw this into the library. I should do that again probably. Let me go back. Let's see. I always forget to change those tabs. All right, I'm gonna go in, read this.
It happens to me all the time.
Oh man, that's all good. Let's see. All right, let's go share screen. Boom. All right. So I'm going to go in. I'm going to remix this again. I'm going to go to remix. I'm going to put in the library and then click go library. And I'm going to go to the library. All right. So when I get here, I have a book into the library that I've just created. And this is my book. So the students aren't in my library yet. They can't see my book, but I want to give every student their own individual copy. Okay. So what I'm going to do, and you don't have to do this in any certain order, but I'm going to do it in this order. All right. So I'm going to go my three dots. I'm going to click share and I'm going to click assign. When I click assign, I'm going to click start assignment and everyone in my library is going to get their own individual copy. All right. So you can either copy this link or you can simply give them this join code so they can go on Book Creator and click join library, or you can give them that code. So I'm going to drop this code in the chat. Ooh, I have somebody already joined. You must have clicked join library. You're awesome. Sweet. So as you can tell, somebody joined my library. I'm going to also drop in the link in the chat. But when somebody joins a library, they get their own individual copy. So you can see, I got students rolling. You guys are amazing. It's like you guys knew I was going to ask you guys to join my library. So this is going to be interactive. This is going to be your own individual workbook. Okay. Now, Josh, are you in my library? I'm going to put you on the spot.
Sure
Okay, you better be.
Just now.
All right. Can you see, how many books can you see?
It looks like 1, 2, 2.
2. So what he can see is he can see my original copy. All right, but he cannot edit it. But then he also gets his own individual workbook, which he can edit. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I like to change the view. Is if you go up to those little 4 squares up at the top, you're probably in this view. And if you scroll over your book, you can hit the pencil tool and you can actually edit your own book. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to edit my book. You guys can actually also see my book. So go ahead and start following along in your own individual book. All right. Because we're going to be creating today. It's all about creation. So this is how simple it is for Book Creator. Okay. Now, I already showed you how to use the Discover. All right. I'm going to ask y'all to go to page 8 of your own individual workbook. All right. So you guys can create and follow along because I feel like there's a power in pushing those buttons. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you all the power of Book Creator with our accessibility, our translations, really connecting with every single student in my classroom. Okay. So I'm going to add text and I'm going to add my name and an interesting fact. So I'm going to go to the plus sign and I'm going to go to text. And I'm going to add my name is. All right. Now I could type that, but I feel like I need to really showcase that every single student in my classroom can use Book Creator. All right. So we have speech to text. And if I go to this microphone, I can also go to this down arrow and I can check over 140 languages that a student can use. Now, I know poquito español, but not too good. All right. So I'm going to stick to English and I'm going to click the microphone. My name is Farmer Fobbs and I have a goat named King. Now, I know that I'm usually Farmer Bob or Farmer Fox. Doesn't sometimes pick up everything from AirPods, but I can go in there and I can use my speech to text. When I'm working with littles, this is a great thing because they're like, Miss, how do you spell cow? And I'm like, nope, use your speech to text. All right. But also, I want to showcase our translation features. I've added this in my native language, which is English, but I might need to translate it to connect with the student. So I can simply go translate, Spanish, translate, boom, that quick. All right. So I'm going to click done. All right. So I've clicked done. Now, for me, every single student, once they click text and they click done, how do I make it nice? Because this isn't just not good enough. How do I make it extra? And I'm like, okay, y'all are my people. We need to make it extra. We need to make it colorful. We need to change the font. There's a rule. You always got to go over to the I. And you can make it bigger. You can make it smaller. You can make it where it's centered. You can change the text. And once you change the text, it will stay. All right. Let's go. Boom. And then I'm going to go blue with a hint of baby blue in the back. Make it bigger. Make it boom. All right. And then I want to translate it back to English. So I'm going to go boom. And if you notice, once you add any text, we have this speech to text and text to speech, where we can simply go in and it will read out loud what you have on that page. So if I go up here as well, we can read that as well, and it highlights that. Okay. So that's a really, really good feature because every single student in my classroom can use Book Creator. All right. So we're going to keep on moving. If you want to add yours to your workbook, I can always go back and see. All right. So let me go back to my library and I can check on your guys' books. Okay. So if you're being good students, I can actually go back and I can check and see if y'all are working. So, oh, Jasmine, oh my gosh, you're like one of the first ones I've gone back to a book and you've actually like done the assignment. So I can leave a comment. I can add a comment. Yeehaw. And I can also add an emoji. And I don't have to verbally tell that student, hey, great job. I can go in and I can add a comment. And so students cannot add comments to each other's books, but a teacher can. And look, Jasmine read it, and she can actually go back and comment as well. All right, Jasmine, we gotta fix that whole pet thing. I have a lot of extra like chickens and rabbits, so if you need a pet, like, hey, I'm headed down there in the summer, I can pack one. All right, so I'm gonna continue rolling to my next rodeo. All right, we got text. We're gonna go to images. Now I'm gonna showcase a few ways to add an image. The first way is right in Book Creator. I can go my plus sign, I can go to images, and I can type in cow. So if you want to add just your favorite animal on there, you can. Now, I think I got to have a Highlander cow. I'm going to use my microphone. Highlander cow. Did it pick it up? No. So I'm going to go in. Because, yes, I actually do have a Highlander. Her name is Little Miss Minnie Moo. And her horns are not as big as that. So I can add image just like this. I can go in. I can remove background. I can even go into media, add an icon. Let's say she needs a crown because she is a princess. All right. We're going to use a little tiara. Oh, this is going to be perfect. And I can change the color if I go the eye. Her favorite color definitely is pink. Okay. And boom. All right. Then what I can do is I can also use my apps. If I go to apps, and anything in the apps is definitely something you can take on and off for your students. But I'm going to showcase our AI image generator built right in. If you guys use Adobe Express, we also have Canva as well. So I'm going to generate an image. a white goat with black spots. Where spots? Spots. Wearing with, I'm gonna go with a chicken on its back. Let's try it. So I love the Adobe Express because we can literally generate an image and have our students be creative and also work on their prompting, their descriptive writing. Canva has something very similar. I can go in and I can add this simply to the book. And also I can remove background, or I can copy this and paste it into this frame if I'd really like to. So there's a few ways that you can add images right into Book Creator, and all of our images come from Pixabay and Google, so they're built all right in. And but also you can upload one as well. All right, so I'm going to give you a little bit to go ahead and add that if you want to, while I'll kind of go on to my next rodeo, because adding images right into Book Creator, my students never had to go outside. It was just all built in. And now we have Canva, we have Adobe Express. We also have little GIFs as well. That, I love this one, little goat. And you can add some animations. But like I said, anything in the apps, you can turn on and off for students. All right, I'm going to go to my next rodeo. And probably my favorite, because I always say that every student deserves a Yeehaw moment and every student deserves voice and choice. And Book Creator does give that. And we are a big replacement for Flipgrid as well. And because we have our video built right in. If I go to plus sign, I go to camera, I can add a selfie. I can insert this. I can also, if I want to do like a portfolio and I have some work that's already been done, I can actually take a picture of it as well. I can remove background on this guy and I can put that right up there. I can also go in, go to camera, to record, 3, 2, 1. Every student wants to be a content creator or a YouTuber, so Book Creator's got to be your go-to tool. So I can add a video, I can resize that. And another thing that you can do if a student doesn't want to be on video, or a teacher, last but not least, they can go plus sign, they can go to record, and they can hit start recording. Every student deserves a Yeehaw moment. And now I've created these and I have them all in my native language. I'm going to take these off real quick. And what I want to show you is I can actually come in here and I can translate this. So every student deserves, let's see, a Yeehaw moment. Did not record. So I can actually come in here, go to the I, hit translate, next, generate automatically the transcript, and just kind of just double check. Choose a language, go Spanish, change my voice, and now, literally in seconds, I have a English and
Every student.
Spanish.
Todo estudiante merece un momento de exclamación.
Pretty good. So I always say this is a game changer for not only for a teacher to connect with their students, but for students to connect with their teachers. All right. So we've showcased different accessibility ways that we can really, we have our speech to text, text to speech, our audio features, also translations. I can even come in here on my video and I can even translate this if I go to add captions and I generate them automatically. And while they're generating, not able to hear me? Hopefully you can hear me.
We can hear you.
Okay, cool. All right, so I've generated captions on my video, and then what I can do is once they're done, I can actually go in and translate them. So truly, just probably one of my favorite things.
Every
It takes
student
just
wants
like
to be
a
a
minute or
content
so.
creator or YouTuber, so Book Creator's got to be your go-to tool. Every student wants to be a
So I can come in here and it's still working, but I can translate. All right. All right. So that is pretty much, I always love to do just a little hands-on way of showcasing Book Creator in ways to showcase to your students. Okay. You can add text, you can add images, you can add video, you can add voice. Now, there's a few things I haven't touched on. And one of the biggest things that I really want to show you is, how do I create a book? I've gone through Discover, I've seen ideas, but how do I create a book? How do I get started maybe creating a template for my students? So what you can do is you can go to New Book. You can, I always choose landscape just because that's the way the size of our templates. And you can always go up here to +, media, and then go to templates. So if I go up here to go to templates, I have over 800 templates that I can choose from. And if I'm working on something with portfolios or covers, I always like to start off with a cover. Let's just say I start off with a cover page. I can add it to book. I can go in and I can change it. Okay, I can change the book cover. I can add a new page and go to media, templates, and maybe I want to do vocabulary. And so I can come in here and I can use just maybe one of these vocabulary maps, label a diagram, and I can add an image right there, okay, wherever I want. I can move these. I can type right in here, all that. So this is a great way for y'all to get started creating a template for your students, right? So I know that was like super, super fast, but I was just like walking people through of literally if they want to get started tomorrow, that is how I would get started. It's probably exactly how I got started when I was teaching or as an ed tech coach. You guys also have my email. It's just fobs@bookcreator.com. And always feel free to reach out after the recording or after the live session. So I'll leave a little bit at the end just to, if anybody has any questions. Maybe not, but we'll just hang out. Awesome.
I do have one quick question.
Yeah, man.
So I was curious if there is a way to skip multiple pages at the same time, or do you just use the arrows?
Good question. So I always like to, I'll go here. So if I'm on edit mode, instead of going to like your next arrow, I like to come up here to pages. And so if I want to go to page number 9, I'll just click 9. Yep. Good question.
I don't know how I missed that. Sorry.
It's
right there.
It's a little tricky just because it's up here right next to library. Yep.
It's just too easy, honestly. It's very easy to use.
Yeah, super easy. And I know I talked about how to like that you could turn apps on and off. I always like to just kind of remind people that the little buttons or tabs are at the top because these are hard to miss as well. So Discover, you can go to apps to turn things on and off. If I want Adobe Image Generator on for my students, I can go in, click settings, and turn them on and off. Like if Midland on or off, that would be on. And then, so you have that power throughout your time that you've created a library. Probably one thing that I probably didn't go over is just like those publishing things that with Book Creator you can do. If nobody has any questions, I know I got a few minutes. I always like to publish books because then I can see that I can share them. I can have people that have viewed them. I'll show you all my little Farmer Fobs faves. And so I literally can go 3 dots, I can go share, I can hit publish, and I can publish this for people to read. And so I can literally go in, flip the pages. I always say there's a power of the pages. I don't have to scroll. It's all right there. And if I come back here and I go to analytics, love this part because when our kids see that something has been published and those kids have seen it, like that's a game changer. and students can come in here and they can see that their book has been read all over the country, maybe all over the world. You know, if I send this, we had a kindergarten book that we shared it with our parents, and then what happened was our little small town, you know, had 64 reads, but then they started sharing it to their grandparents and the aunts and uncles. And so when we showed them, the kindergartners, this analytics, they're like, wait, my books, that's where my grandma lives. That's where, you know, so-and-so lives. So I always like showcasing this little, like, the analytics that a lot of people kind of don't realize that it's there. You can also print books. You can hit share, hit print. When you publish a book, you can even get a QR code. So there's a QR code that you can actually have to showcase, you know, print it out, maybe put it in the hallway for your, you know, parent-teacher conferences, those kind of things. Any other questions? Those were all good. That was a good question. All right, cool.
Awesome. Well, I guess that's it for today then, unless there's anything else you want to close out with, Bobs.
That's all good. Hopefully see you guys in the summer. I'll be doing a session pretty much all hands on. So if you guys want to know a little bit more, then I'll be flying down there to Texas.
Yes, and we're so excited about that. So if you're watching us live or later on YouTube, be on the lookout for some communication regarding that, because we're going to have some really awesome sessions, and we're so excited to have Bobs come and be with us for Power Up. Awesome. Well, I guess that concludes our show for today. Once again, we just want to thank Bobs for showing us all this cool stuff in Book Creator. And thank you for being here on this Tech Tuesday, and we will see you next time.
Awesome.
Bye.